Hello everyone, this is the guy that got Lily Bae to Paragon 1 and welcome to this AFK journey video. So we just ended Lily Bae's pool stream and we did quite a bit of playtesting with her. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my first impressions with this unit as well as what I predict for this unit moving forward. So first, let us start with the headwear that we're going to get. So right here, we get this really cute headwear which you get after you get 8,000 affinity with her. So for me, I push her to Paragon tier, and with the bonuses that you get from the banner enhancement over here, you will be able to fill up the affinity bar quite fast. So by the time I got her to Paragon 1, it was 6,400, so I just topped up the remaining affinity right to 8,000 just to get the headwear. So you guys can see my Lily Bae over here. Okay, so before I start my analysis for this character, I'm going to briefly talk about her kit and then give my different thoughts about the different parts of her kit. So first of all, let's start with the ultimate temper shot. So temper shot is an anti-ultimate skill, right? To put it simply, I'm not going to go word for word. This skill, right, whenever the enemy casts the ultimate, if she's in her defensive state, she will jump to the enemy, deal damage, interrupt them and reduce their energy, so preventing them from casting the ultimate after being interrupted. So this skill, right, there's an active portion. So the active portion basically allows her to re-enter defensive state again to do this this interruption ability over and over again whenever she casts the ultimate. So this thing about her makes her really good against all the like ultimate on start effect, like Aaron, obviously, Brian, right, Smokey with the aroma with that brief interruption to Smokey's ability, Niru with EX weapon, as well as a few other units with like all those passive in the ultimate that, you know, that actually uses their ultimate at the start of battle. So this skill, if let's say the enemy cannot be interrupted like against the Dream Realm bosses, it turns into a 400% nuke. So that's something that you guys might want to know. So if the enemy is interruptible, right, if the enemy is not unaffected, then she will interrupt them, right, deal damage and cause them to lose energy. If the enemy is unaffected, right, cannot lose energy, then she deal 400% nuke. So the passive is at start she gets 1 stack, and then the active is her entering this state once again. So when she's using this skill, there's actually an iframe, so that's one way for her to remain invulnerable. That's number one. Another interesting part about her mechanic is actually her third skill, which is Swallow's Flight, which basically gives her attack boost over time. So she's actually gaining this experience in battle, either killing or assisting in enemy kills, or just standing in battle over time. So there will be a bar below her where she gains EXP, and once the EXP bar is filled up, she permanently get her attack increased by 10% up to 4 stacks. And on top of that, the enhanced attack deals additional true damage equal to the percentage of your enemy's max HP. So right here, as you guys can see. Okay, so this is a very powerful skill if you draw out the battle, because the longer the battle draws out, right, the more enemies she kills, she gets up to 10% buff. And this skill is further enhanced by the EX weapon skill, which increases the attack boost to 14%. And I think, I'm assuming, right, Bliss as well as Flight is 2 separate buffs. So right here, this gets you 4 stack, and for this one, for each non-permanent stat boost from an ally, you will get 14%. So you can trigger this effect once per ally, once per battle. So this means you need 4 different allies providing 4 different non-temporary stat boosts in order to maximize the buff from this EX weapon, which is another 56%. So in the best case scenario, I will assume this is a 56% buff at EX 15 plus a 56% buff from the flight itself. So that's roughly 112% buff. Yeah, very insane buff over that. So that is if you're able to grow her to that state. And this at EX10 allows her to do 2 additional attacks the next time she casts Rainstorm Ballet, which allows her to stack up even more damage. So this is her main damage source, because she starts off the battle by using the Ballet to do a lot of damage, right, to a lot of different enemies. And at the same time, she's invincible, so that's another iframe for her. So she will have a little bit of RNG, because depending on when she uses the ultimate, depending on when she casts the Ballet, the iframe could affect the AI targeting from the enemy side. So that's something that's also really interesting. Very elusive character, and her hero focus increases her penetration, right, 16 at base during battle, with additional 8 when she uses her second skill, the damage ballet skill. So her supreme plus skill is when she first uses her ultimate, she interrupts the ultimate of the enemy and causes them to lose 1000 energy instead of 700. So personally, I don't think this is super spectacular. It basically just slows down that ultimate cycling from the enemy, but then when she first interrupts an enemy's ultimate, and if the enemy doesn't even have energy, then this skill is kind of wasted in the first place. So that's why I say it's not that spectacular, because it's very situational. I think depending on the enemy you use your ultimate on, right, the effect is very different. So it's a good to have kind of skill. Next, seasonal skill, Arcane Barrage. This is what makes her insanely good for bossing. Pretty much the best skill for bossing, right? These units like Merely, units like Odie has this skill, because the more normal attack you do, which is what her kit does, right, the more damage you can do additionally with Arcane Barrage. So generally, I think Lily Bae is a really powerful PvP character. And in terms of the Dream Realm side of things, I think right now she has the potential, but we need a few more days to test her on the different bosses. So let's start with showing you guys some replays for the arena side. So when we first started the runs with her, we lost quite a bit. So we tried like this full Wilders comp, failed. Okay, we were fighting the same guy basically on a very similar power level. So right here we have a Shakira frontliner, almost won but failed. Okay, and we managed to sort of find a build best for her, which is the Alma's Iron Control. We slot her in as a carry in the place of Arden, in the place of Elsa, for example. So that's one thing. And in terms of this unit's ability right here, we're just going to showcase one replay where I think this, even though it's a loss, showcases a good chunk of her ability, like how well she does. Okay, so right here she starts off the ultimate using the ballet, so she jumps around dealing damage. So you guys see below the energy bar, there's actually another bar, so that's the EXP bar. So this bar will automatically fill up the longer the battle draws out, and it will also fill up if you kill an enemy or if Lily Bae assists in a kill, which is quite highly possible because her second skill is a AoE skill. Okay, so let's just go. Okay, so this is her using the ballet once again. So this is the main damage skill. So Skyta uses the ultimate. Okay, and right here she uses the ultimate, and that's where there's an eye icon. So the next unit to cast the ultimate, I believe, is gonna be Iron. Okay, I think she went to she went to Torrent. Yeah, she went to Torrent. Okay, so she jumped to Torrent. I'm not sure what skill or what part of Torrent skill proc that ultimate proc. So the ultimate jumping ability can be a little bit wonky because unless you are using her in a PvE side, you can't actually control where she jumps, because her ultimate can proc against basically any unit that has the ability or the chance to use ultimate, even if it's like, you know, not the active casting type. For example, like Damien's case, she can actually jump to Damien right all the way at the back line and do nothing and then come back to a spot. So that's where I think her ultimate is very wonky. So right here, I think, right, so this is ultimate. So before Hewin casts the ultimate, she's gonna use the stuns and then disable her healing. So right here, Hewin is about to cast it, so she jumps to Hewin, and then because we didn't manage to snipe off Hewin, we got out-healed by Hewin here, unfortunately. Okay, so this is one way to showcase her PvP kit. So now let's go on to the replay where I won the battle. So the same guy, right, we're gonna fight the same guy, but this time around, right, we won it with the control side. Let's pull everyone together. Okay, so she jumps to Iron because the Iron is attempting to cast the ultimate. Okay, so this is base arena, by the way. Okay, and because there was a kill, there's actually an attack buff. Okay, so there's actually an attack buff, one stack over here. So now Hewin uses the ultimate. Nice. So she uses the ballet. Iframe cannot target her. Okay, right here, she's going to use the ultimate. So the next ultimate usage by my enemy. So this is where you guys see, she jumps to Damien and it does nothing to Damien. Because Damien is casting a cut animation, which is basically Damien's ultimate. So that's where there's a little bit of RNG there, right? Damien sort of counters her by redirecting the ultimate to himself and allowing her to do nothing. And there's also a few other units, for example, like Ludovic's case, right, where you can't actually interrupt Ludovic placing the field. So there are a lot of different, I'll say, like Lily Bae interactions that we need to test moving forward. So we will wait until we get the opportunity, or at least if I have data that people are testing her out with Niru, then I'll probably do more talking from the PvP side of things. As for the Dream Realm side of things, I personally think that she's amazing for Dream Realm because of the ability for her to stack up her damage over time, but I don't think she's that good for long game. So this is currently the best team setup for the boss, but in the place of Talin, which is a unit I don't have, I have but very low ascension, I'm gonna use Lily Bae over here. Okay, so let's start the battle. So we go at 3 times. So this is just her starting the battle with the ballet. Just an instant nuke. So she fits quite well into the burst nuke. So this is her using the defensive stun animation against the boss when the boss energy bar is filled up. So that's a 400% nuke. Okay, so Smokey is healing up. Okay, uses a skill once again. So I think against the boss, it's not the boss's bar filling up, but it's just like a specific boss animation that triggers the ultimate of the boss. Yeah, so there's a lot of ways to trigger her ultimate. So that's why I say it's a little bit RNG based, because depending on who you use the ultimate on, like the result can change accordingly. And in a lot of different game modes, it's kind of auto, so you can't really control where she jumps. So this is her damage output. I'll say pretty optimal considering that she died pretty early. So generally, I think the longer she can survive, the more damage she can do. And based on my predictions right now, I would say the bosses that she's going to be good at, number 1 will be Skyclops, obviously, because she can kill the summons to gain the attack buff as soon as possible. And then maybe Alpha Bear to a certain extent, because she has iframe. So if she jumps at the right time, she might be able to avoid the honey and then do damage and slow down the honeyfication process. King Croaker, slightly. Necro Dragon, highly unlikely. Snow Stomper, possible. So there are, I'll say, like at least 3 bosses that we could try her with. So stay tuned for my reviews about her in the next few days with regard to the Dream Realm side of things. So lastly, let's talk about the PvE side. So for the PvE side, I'm going to showcase 2 battles with her. I don't think she's a particular team builder kind of unit. Like, she's not like Smokey where you build a team around Smokey, but I think she's a good to have, because in PvE, one thing that you don't lack is the enemies numbers. So you're going to kill a lot of enemies and you're going to get the 4 stack up really fast. And that's why I think Lily Bae will come in as a, I'll say, like a secondary win condition for your PvE team. So I found a lot of success with this team right here, which is Iron Armor's control together with Lily Bae as a secondary win condition, with Hewin as a support, as well as Smokey as the support and damage dealer. So this is one team. So I'm going to let the battle run. Before we continue the auto battle itself, we're going to showcase the damage. So this is Smokey doing a lot of damage. This is Lily Bae doing quite a bit of damage as well. So in this battle, Smokey did more. But there are battles where if I auto and Smokey's ultimate doesn't hit too many enemies, that's where Lily Bae will be the main carry in terms of damage output. So this will be one case where I just let the battle run at auto, so you guys can see it for yourself. So in PvE mode, you can actually manually cast the ultimate for her to interrupt core unit skills, like for example enemies Lumon, enemies Cisia, for example enemies Hewin. So this is something that you guys can do on manual. But for Arena as well as Dream Realm, it's a full auto mode, so you can't do it, unfortunately. So I'll run maybe 2 battles with her at auto to show you guys how good this team could be. So I would say that it's a Lily Bae credit. I think Smokey is still going to be the primary win condition, but Lily Bae is a good secondary win condition in this team. Okay, so I think this will be a showcase, a good showcase of her damage, because Smokey really used up the flare, and I think Lily Bae will be the main damage dealer for this round, because she's able to get the max stack and the battle lasted for quite long. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is her being the main damage dealer. So all in all, I think she's actually quite a decent PvE character. Like if you can manual her, she's gonna be insane. Wait, let me just put, okay, we're gonna put here, reposition. Okay, so she's gonna be really good if you, okay, I think this will be a good stage to showcase her ultimate cancelling. So I'm just gonna put at auto first and see whether I want to manual the stage. So this is her cancelling one of the unit's ultimate, so prevents the healing, prevents whatever channeling skill. And if it's Lumon, right, it prevents the charging from Lumon. Yeah, so right here we use the ultimate. So Lumon is about to use the ultimate, so now we go to Lumon. Okay, yeah, we cancel that. So Lumon wasn't able to charge, but right now the Vala is on our Smokey, unfortunately. So use the ultimate once again. Okay, jumps. I don't know who we're jumping on. I think it's Lumon once again. Okay, so for this stage, unfortunately, I think we have to manual. So I think we should activate her ultimate to cancel key units ultimate, which is, I think, going to be Lumon next, right? So let's prot Lumon's, let's prot Lily Bae's ultimate as soon, because I don't want to be dragged by Lumon. Okay. So Lumon's next. Please cancel Lumon's ultimate right here. I think it's Lumon's one. So now we jump in. Oh, okay. Oh no, we didn't cancel Lumon. We canceled Satrana's one, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, we managed to bring down Vala. Very, very nice. So Lily Mae uses ultimate again. So we're gonna interrupt somebody's ultimate, which I think is Dumon. Yes, this time around is Dumon right here, as you guys can see. So now we're gonna pull in all the units together, root them with Almond's control. We still have Smokey as a secondary win condition, by the way. Okay, so one more stack for Smokey's ultimate to do damage, but it's fine. Lily Mae is doing an amazing job already. So Alma slams the control, Lily Mae uses ultimate. So the next unit to use the ultimate will be sniped by her. Pull everyone in, and then I'm just gonna auto cause we won the battle already. Okay, so she's insanely good if you time your ultimate right. So this is what you can do in manual. So this is the number. So in this battle itself, Iron did a lot more, but I think Lily Mae did quite a good job in terms of stopping key ultimates at time. So we'll do one more, right? This time around, we will use evocation spell because this one gives us quite a bit of crit. And let's start the battle. Okay, so this will be my new auto-friendly team. Because this team is, I would say, decently strong in for example, disrupting key skills in certain stages, and you have control, you have also multiple win conditions. So just one last one, and then we will end the video right here. Okay, so basically to conclude, I think in general, Lily Mae is a pretty powerful character all around. How powerful? Probably really meta in PvP. In terms of the PvE side, we still need more testing before I will draw more conclusion. But that's pretty much it for this video, right? Just my first impression for Lily Mae based on my Paragon 1 testing. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more, and I'll end the screen on the damage distribution. And I'll see you guys again in my next AFK journey video. Bye guys!